Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of our video series explaining how to use your stability bands. It's your in-hand team, Tina here in front of the camera, and behind the camera is the lovely Cassidy. And today we're going to continue working our horse now that we've taught them how to use the bands. We're going to continue working on different planes of our horse. Now, when you are working your horse, you do want to make sure that they're as square as possible. Doesn't, again, have to be absolutely perfect, but we do want them to have as much stability in their body as possible. So I'm just making sure that my front legs, I'm going to work on this front leg for the moment. Oh, well, that's quite nice behind as well. But I'm making sure that she's square and, again, on a firm, flat surface, always looking at safety. So in our last video, we talked about how to train the horse and how to work the horse in that longitudinal plane. Today, we're moved to the side of our horse, and we're going to build this exercise and make it a little bit harder. So here I'm going to go ahead and put my band on the middle of this forearm. Now, this is contraindicated if your horse has any joint problems because we are bringing the leg to the side, and it can put a little bit of torque through the knee, through the elbow, and through the lower limb. Now, we want this in some ways because, as you guys know, when we're doing our sport and the horse is pushing off to the side, we need the strength in our medial and lateral stabilizers. But we always want to think of the horse first. So if they do have a joint condition, we need to get this cleared with your veterinarian. So now we're going to go ahead and work this horse directly to the side. I'm going to place my band on, making sure it's nice and flat on the skin so it doesn't have a wrinkle. And I'm literally going to pull to the side, and you can see, probably well in the camera from you guys' angle, that she rocked towards me, and then she used her core tissue and her stabilizers to pull back the other direction. We really want to see that engagement, we call it, where the horse is engaging with the exercise and then bringing the weight bearing back over. So that's what I'm looking for when I'm going lateral here. I'm going to pull to the side, and here she's going to pick her foot up. So I'm just going to wait for her to settle, pull to the side, and then she rocks away from me. Good girl. Yes, a good girl. Got an itch. Okay, and again. Oh, she's picking that foot up. Okay, I don't love that stance. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I do want her to be as balanced as possible, so that we have the most possible out of the exercise. Making sure that my band is flat so I don't end up creating a pressure point on the muscle, and pull, and there she pulls away from me. And pull, and then she pulls away from me. Now, if your horse is harder to decide if they are pulling away from you, the one other thing to watch is the fetlock itself. When you pull the weight bearing of the horse onto this side, the fetlock will drop down. So that's something to watch for to see that you're getting the engagement with the exercise if you're not able to recognize if the horse's weight does rock away from you. So here I am. This time I'm going to watch the fetlock, and I'm going to pull, and that fetlock drops, and then you see it pop back up. Sometimes the drop is a little bit harder, but the pop back up is usually always pretty obvious. Okay, and one more time. Pull. Oh, she's going to step up, so I'm going to allow her to move herself where she wants to be. Just going to get a little bit more square than this so I have equal forces on both sides of the body. Okay, and again, if we watch that fetlock this time, and pull, and then pop back up. Okay, so that's an excellent exercise to be able to work those medial and lateral stabilizers. Now remember, we're focusing on the leg, but the entire horse's body is getting worked. Not only is the shoulder working, you're also getting core training through the wither area and upper back. You're going to get opposing hip training because the body is having to stabilize while this leg is being pulled from side to side. So these are actually an excellent full body workout. If you have a horse that is on stall rest, now of course it'd have to be cleared by the veterinarian that we're allowed to do these, but here at Inhand we use the bands a lot for strengthening. Also, as we mentioned in another episode, when you're moving indoors and the horse isn't moving as much outside because it's colder and we're in a smaller indoor arena, you can keep that kind of core stability tone going all winter long by adding these in. And really, once you get this down to routine, it doesn't take that long to do all the way around your horse. Okay, so then let's look at our next exercise, which is going to be working the leg on an oblique angle. We're going to work it on that oblique angle to the back of the horse and to the front of the horse. So let's start going backwards here first of all, okay? Again, a little bit squarer might be ideal, but it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Making sure that my band is nice and flat on the horsehair, and I'm literally going to stand at a 45-degree angle from my horse's elbow here. I'm going to be watching the lower leg of the horse, and I'm going to pull on this oblique angle and let go. And you guys from the front there might have a great view of what's happening in the pectorals, because this oblique angle is really great for working the thoracic sling. So here I go and pull and let go. And pull and let go. And I can see this from my view all the way up into the neck as well. So when you guys are looking at this, really watch exactly what your horse is doing in their entire body, because there's going to be a lot of areas that get stimulated, not just the lower leg as we mentioned before. So I am going to switch now to the oblique angle from the front, and we're going to be moving the camera a little bit so that you guys can see. And here I am standing at the point of the shoulder at a 45-degree angle from that point of the shoulder, so that you're sure that you guys are standing in the correct location. Okay, same thing as before. We're going to pull on this oblique angle. Oh, and she says that was too much, Mommy. Okay, so that's a good example, you guys, because especially when you're training your horse to do this, because this horse has been doing band work for a couple years. But if you're training your horse to do this, and they do take a step away from you, we do need to make sure that we make the pull so that they don't feel like they have to step away. We really want to train them that they can withstand this, okay? Because so much of the things we do in our horse training, when we pull, we want them to give and come with us. And this is one of the few times that when we pull, we want them to resist us to be able to get that resistance training, okay? So here I go with a little lesser pull so that she doesn't feel like she has to take a step. And again. Nice. And again. Really good. So while I'm watching here, I can see all the muscles through the leg contract, through the base of the neck, and even out of my side eye, I can see her with her neck readjusting to be able to withstand this pull. So it is a extremely beneficial exercise, way more than a lot of people would think just by getting a set of bands and working on your horse. And if you have a horse that is asymmetrical, which most horses and most people are, this is an invaluable tool to be able to help strengthen that. Especially because Cassidy and I have lots of clients where they say, you know, I have an injured hip, I have an injured leg, so I sit a little off to the side, and the horse is always compensating for that. Or let's say the horse has an old injury that they're continually compensating for, and that we're really trying to build as much muscle around those asymmetries as possible. Well, this band work will really give you that kickstart to be able to get those muscles turned on. And not only that, that isometric contraction will train the nervous system to have more awareness of that muscle. And so the contraction of that muscle can be stronger. So as the muscle is building overall depth of tone, it has a better ability to fire and a more clear ability to fire. So this band exercise is really a great one for all horse owners. Multidiscipline as well, and you don't have to be a professional rider to do a great job on your horse. So we really feel like it is an exercise that can benefit everybody. In the next episode, we're going to move to the hind leg, and then we're actually going to start working through the bands on the entire body. So from Cassidy and myself, Tina, and our whole in-hand team, we'd like to say thank you so much. We'll see you in the next episode. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can do so on our social media platforms, And if you want to watch this entire series, you can find it on our YouTube channel or on our teaching platform for free at inhandequinetherapy.podia.com. Until next time, bye for now.